Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC Kwara State Command has apprehended a 45-year-old vehicle spare parts dealer Alhaji Ganiyu Kehinde following allegations of homosexual acts and the defilement of two teenage boys in the Ipata Oloje area of Ilorin. The arrest was made after the parents of the victims and concerned community members reported the incidents to the NSCDC's Gender Unit on April 14, 2025. The complainants alleged that Alhaji Ganiyu engaged in repeated homosexual acts with two boys aged 15 and 19. According to a statement released by NSCDC spokesman Ayola Michael on Tuesday, preliminary investigations revealed the disturbing pattern of luring the victims with monetary gifts. The suspect allegedly gave each boy 500 naira on separate occasions after engaging in carnal knowledge with them. Further disclosures from the victims detailed multiple instances of anal sexual assault perpetrated by the suspect. These acts reportedly occurred both at Alhaji Kehinde's residence and within an uncompleted building situated in the Oko Olowolo Road of Ilorin Metropolis. The NSCDC has confirmed that the two teenage victims are currently undergoing comprehensive medical and psychological assessments to aid their recovery and support the ongoing investigation into these deeply troubling allegations. While the accused Alhaji Kehinde has reportedly denied any allegations of sexual penetration, he admitted to allowing the boys to sleep on his chest, characterizing the interactions as innocent and harmless. However, the detailed accounts from the victims and the ongoing investigation suggest a far more sinister reality. The NSCDC Commandant Dr. Umar Mohammed has vehemently condemned such acts, emphasizing that sexual abuse, especially against minors, constitute a grave offense and a direct assault on the moral foundation of society. Dr. Mohammed has firmly vowed that the NSCDC is resolute in ensuring that justice is served in this case and that individuals who perpetrate such heinous crimes are held fully accountable under the law. He reaffirmed the commitment of the NSCDC to safeguarding the rights and ensuring the safety of children, youths, and all other vulnerable groups within the Kwara State community, signaling a zero-tolerance stance against such depraved acts. Upon conclusion of the ongoing investigation, Alhaji Ganiyu Kehinde will be formally charged in court in accordance with all relevant legal provisions. For the longest of times, we've anchored around the fact that, abuse, many people would say abuse usually happens to female children, but you would agree with me that in recent time, we've had a spate of abuse cases also on young children. A lot of sodomization cases currently brewing in different parts of Nigeria, and in realization that homosexuality is a crime in Nigeria. What are your thoughts on this report? Or mute.
Oh, apologies. Sorry. So I was saying this issue of homosexuality in Nigeria is becoming too frequent, and sexual abuse in that light. Because, we have laws in this country, and what do our laws say about the idea of homosexuality in itself? It's not even up for conversation. But I feel like the reason why these things keep happening, like I always say when I discuss matters like this when I come on the show, is because we do not take these things as seriously as we should. Now, we have laws, but what do these laws say about them? What are the examples we have made of people that have done these things before? In cases like this, we hear these things as it's hot, like people say, I see the hot, then afterwards we don't hear what happens, right? And these kids are left with traumas that can, in some cases, most cases, if I may say, cannot be taken back, cannot be fixed.
All right.
Now, it is one thing to be homosexual as a person. I do not, for me personally, I have my opinions about it, right? Am I audible?
Right. Loud and clear.
Okay, I have my opinion. Okay, great. I have my opinions about it, but I also want to believe that as a Christian, I'm not in any case to judge anybody or tell you how you feel as a person or whatnot. But when you now begin to sexually abuse other people or kids, it's no longer acceptable. So the law says if you commit this thing, I think it's 14 years, same 14 years or thereabout. This thing should be fixed so that someone who is thinking of doing that thing knows that there's no clause to save you from it. Once you have proven beyond reasonable doubt that you did this forcefully with this person,
right, and
you are caught, you should face the law. That, I think, that's the easiest way to reduce these things. Then for those who still feel that they are homosexual, it's your business. I do not have anything to say about that. It's your business. But whatever you're doing, like I said, I'm not one to support, but I'm not also going to, stones. Right. Let there even be consent. If you meet your fellow homosexual, that's your business. But when you begin to sexually abuse young kids, it's a problem. Then I want to encourage parents and organizations out there to speak to their children. I mean, 500 naira, it's not even funny. To sexually abuse a child, you give them 500 naira and you feel it's okay. And why I'm bringing the parents into this is, in as much as we blame these people, we feel it's two parties. They are kids, yes, but the things you tell them will prevent these things as well. You understand? Some parents are scared of talking about, in this part of the world, they are scared of talking about homosexuality. I don't know if it's being scared or ashamed.
Now, for certain parents, you would agree with me, Mr. Kolawole, that homosexuality in Nigeria is not what has not been a big topic, simply because for us, I mean, as a people, this pretty much started very recently. It's not an occurrence that has been there for the longest of times. Right, it's not something that was so open for many people to know. So I think, do you think that many parents, because they cannot fathom, why this is being done, or if this can even be a thing that can happen, do you think that is why they don't get the chance to talk to their children a lot about it?
In as much as I agree with the first part of your statement, as when you said it's not something that has been on for a long time.
Right.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, we can still say, it's not, in some countries that's been going on for, homosexuality is something that has been on globally for a very long time. But
right.
This part of the world, yes, it's not so recent too, that we've been seeing these cases. I mean, it's been years as well. We've even had issues where we heard, I'm not sure if that was true, of the West trying to also, buy us into the idea. Parents know these things. I 100% believe parents know these things.
Now, when you say parents know these things, do you think somebody, a mother that sells in the market, for example, that leaves the house early, that faces her business from morning till evening, or people that go to the farm, especially in rural communities, do you think that they have an idea that this is a thing that has become a menace that needs to be, nipped in the bud? Do you think they have an idea of this practice, as it were, before they can even be able to relate this information to their children?
I believe they have an idea. And why I say that is because these things do not happen just in the urban areas now. I see it happen in rural areas as well. And it happens to both the rich and, to those that do not have much as well. So I personally feel it's a thing of, even, let's take homosexuality out of the case. How many parents are convenient or comfortable, talking about sex with their kids and sexual abuse as a topic? Not much. I mean, it's getting better nowadays, but still not much. So talk less of homosexuality, which seems like a much more uncomfortable discussion, right? So I feel it's a thing of parents should talk to their kids about these things, right? And the society builds both formally and informally. Schools should also talk to these things. These things should be in classes. I mean, should be in the curriculums, not antagonizing or trying to create hate, but educate the child. Information is what is important here. Information is key. Now, these kids do not know what that man was doing, and he was probably grooming them, right? Giving them some sort of gifts to buy them into this
gifts
act.
Like 500 naira.
Like 500 naira, right? I mean, it's a sad thing, because now it creates a cycle, or a cycle rather, because now these kids might not be able to overcome this trauma, and sadly, they might go to do this to someone else when they are much more older. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Sadly
That's
so.
how this thing continues. And now, are we going to name these kids later on? It's a tricky situation, but parents, I mean, that's why I keep saying parents and organizations that are into non-profits that talk about these things, they should please do more.
Right.
Educate people whenever you can. Parents, don't be scared of talking to them about these things. Even kids are uncomfortable when you raise topics about sex, sexual health, sexual, but sit them down, whatever
right.
you can, talk to them. I do not even subscribe to allowing them watch some might say, okay, take this audio, listen to it, or take this YouTube video, they talk about this. Now, these things are even, having these clauses in between, having bots, still talk about homosexualism in them and the fact that it's okay. I'm not saying, like I said, it's not a hate thing, but you should speak to them yourself. There's a different effect it has. Even
because minors cannot give consent.
Exactly. Speak to them, let them know. If someone is giving you 500 naira, that's why even when we are growing up, you know how our parents were. They will literally tell you if someone gives you something, don't collect, right?
Right.
Or don't take it. Or if someone tells you to come, don't go there. But parents don't say these things nowadays. You get it? And that's where it all starts from. Because when you have those, some might say, oh, it's an archaic form of thinking. Why would you just tell someone you don't know what he's calling you for and feel it's not a big deal? But it's a big deal. Because if you taught your kid not to take things from strangers, not to go to places that they haven't been to before, they wouldn't have been in this situation, sadly.
Well, thank you so much for your insight to that report. I mean, there's so many other things I wanted us to, talk about there, but we are almost running out of time.